So, imagine a Britain where access to Wikipedia is restricted not by a hostile foreign power, not by a rogue ISP, but by our own government. This is no dystopian fantasy. It's the potential consequence of the Online Safety Act, a law passed ironically in the name of safety, but now threatening the very infrastructure of free knowledge. This is a law that may force Wikipedia, a globally trusted not-for-profit educational site, to cap UK users, distort its editing model and verify the identity of its volunteer moderators. Why? Because under the new rules, if it has more than 7 million users and features recommendation tools or allows sharing of links, it could be classified as a Category 1 platform, and that means the same regulatory burden as TikTok or Facebook. Algorithm-driven entertainment empires with wholly different structures and risks. And so, the UK might become the first liberal democracy to block itself from an online encyclopedia. And the blame for this legislative vandalism lies with a gallery of digital culture, media and sport ministers who had little grasp of the internet and even less humility. Nadine Dorries, whose literary knowledge of technology was confined to whether or not it had subtitles. Michelle Donnellan, who cheered the bill through Parliament with slogans and sound bites. Lucy Fraser, who took the baton and confused regulation with repression. Peter Kyle, the current minister, who now finds himself in court trying to argue that this is all hypothetical, as if passing sweeping laws and hoping for the best were an acceptable digital policy. This law doesn't make us any safer. It makes us smaller, poorer, and more parochial. It's censorship under any other name. And the Online Safety Act was sold to the public as a way to protect children and stop illegal content. A noble aim, but the law's drafting is so broad, its application so clumsy, its assumptions so flawed, that it will hobble legitimate services instead of halting harmful ones. And here's why it fails. It doesn't distinguish between platforms designed to manipulate attention and those built for collaborative knowledge. Wikipedia is an encyclopedia, not a dopamine slot machine. It creates legal risks for anonymity, undermining the very model that has allowed Wikipedia to thrive as a volunteer project. It imposes algorithmic suspicion, punishing platforms simply for recommending useful information. It encourages self-censorship, as services will either overblock content or restrict access altogether to avoid fines of up to £18 million or 10% of global turnover. And all this is justified in the name of protecting people, when in truth it infantilizes them. We're not children in need of constant supervision. We are citizens entitled to freedom of inquiry. As if the economic and academic restrictions of Brexit were not damaging enough, we now impose informational restrictions on ourselves. We're amputating our own intellect. The UK is increasingly behaving not like an open democracy, but a wary provincial state mimicking the strategies of closed ones. Consider the comparison. In Russia, Wikipedia is blocked outright over disinformation laws. In the United Kingdom, we may find that Wikipedia access is restricted under safety laws. In Russia, real name registration for online users is required. In the United Kingdom, identity verification is required for Wikipedia editors, it is said. In Russia, harmful content is a vague rationale for blocking dissent. In the UK, harmful content will restrict platforms without precision. In Russia, all large sites are treated as state threats. In the United Kingdom, all large sites are treated as legal liabilities. The difference is one of degree, not of kind. In both cases, the state pretends it is doing the public a favour while undermining its freedom. Wikipedia is not anti-platform. It doesn't harvest your data, it doesn't sell your ads, it doesn't serve political agendas or a political agenda. It has no CEO billionaire tweeting policy decisions, yet it risks being shackled because it is popular, free and open source. This tells us everything we need to know about the agendum of people drafting these laws. When you pass legislation written for Silicon Valley and apply it to educational charities, you are not keeping anyone safe, you are simply revealing your own ignorance. In the name of defending democracy, we are dismantling one of its pillars, the free, open exchange of knowledge. A Britain where Wikipedia is throttled is not a safe Britain, it's a dimension, it's a diminished, dimension-destroying Britain. Instead of pretending the internet is a threat to be quarantined, we should invest in digital literacy, improve content moderation standards with international cooperation, apply proportionate oversight where actual harm occurs, not blanket suspicion on global commons. Censorship doesn't work. Education works, and we're failing in that as well. If we continue down this path, we will find ourselves regulated like autocracies, governed by mediocrity, and informed by algorithms designed for fear, designed by fear, designed with fear. And the irony? We won't be able to look up the history of our mistake because Wikipedia won't load.